Live from Ball State University. News for the campus community and all of Delaware County. This is NewsLink Indiana.
Protesters across the nation have been wearing hoodies in honor of Trayvon Martin, who was killed in February. Good evening, I'm Nicole Griffin.
And I'm Daniel Young.
Footsteps were the only sound during the march on Ball State's campus today.
A silent march is important because it expresses the reason that we're here, but silence is a lot louder than words.
Joseph Clemens was one of 2 Ball State students who organized the march, and for him, the reason was personal.
I wear this hoodie probably almost every day because it's cold, but I'm looked at suspicious simply because I have a hoodie even when I have on a backpack.
About 50 students split up into 3 groups to march from different places on campus, meeting at the bell tower for a moment of silence. But the total silence of today's march was a far cry from the chants of last Wednesday's march. But the reasons for coming out were similar.
I had a grandson that was shot and killed, so I understand exactly what Trayvon's mother is feeling, and I'm just here for all the Trayvon Martins, all our young black men here on the streets of Muncie. I feel like they're all in danger.
Walter Ford participated in the march, and he hoped it would have an impact on those watching.
I hope if Ball State students see us marching, they realize how big of a matter this is.
But the silence and lack of signs baffled some students.
At first I was like, I don't know, maybe someone died because the hood's up and being silent, but we really didn't know, we didn't even hear about what happened, so.
The protesters hope that the sounds or silence will help a case that is 1,000 miles away. In Muncie, Sarah Finney, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thank you for that, Sarah. NewsLink Indiana anchor Brandon Pope organized the march. NewsLink was not affiliated with the march in any way.
A Muncie man is dead after his pickup truck crashed off of Interstate 69 this morning. Police found 43-year-old Brian Ream's Ford truck smashed into a tree around 8 a.m. The tree was located in a field almost a mile from the interstate. State police found about 100 feet of interstate fence down on the southbound side. It is unknown why the pickup left the interstate and drove through at least 2 fields. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow.
A 19-year veteran of the Indiana Supreme Court is stepping down. Justice Frank Sullivan Jr. is leaving in a few months to join the Indiana University Law School faculty in Indianapolis. Sullivan's departure from the court follows Chief Justice Randall Shepard's resignation last month. Governor Mitch Daniels will choose Sullivan's replacement. The Indiana Supreme Court also swore in a new member this morning. Mark Massa is Indiana's 107th Supreme Court Justice. Governor Mitch Daniels chose Massa to replace former Chief Justice Randall Shepard. Massa was the chief counsel for Daniels from 2006 to 2010. The Indiana Judicial Nominating Commission will choose a new chief justice from the 5 members of the court.
Tornadoes tore through southern Indiana a month ago today, and today marks the first day that Henryville High School students are able to be back in class. The tornado destroyed their school. Now they'll have a temporary place to learn at Mid-American Science Park in Scottsburg. Conference and storerooms have been converted into classrooms and computer labs and also a cafeteria. High school seniors have missed out on part of their final year, but they are taking it in stride.
Not what we planned or what we wanted, but it could be a lot worse. We're all lucky to be able to graduate. Even though we don't know where we're going to graduate, we'll deal with it. It's all right.
West Clark Community Schools will ask the State Department of Education to waive the required 180 days class because of the tornado damage. If you like corn, then you're in luck. U.S. grain farmers intend on planting more corn this year than any other year since 1937. The U.S. Department of Agriculture released a report indicating that farmers will plant 95 million acres of corn this year. That is up 4% from 2011. In many states, corn is offering a higher return rate than competing crops. Corn consumption is also higher than expected, forcing return rates to increase. And as we know, Nicole, we experienced some summer-like weather really early on in the year here in Indiana, and that's always good news for farmers.
You're right. They were able to get out this year and get some work done early. Let's throw it over to Michael to see if they can continue that early work. Michael?
Well, guys, it is going to cool down just a little bit, but we're not going to get below freezing, so any of those crops should be fine out there. for now. Right now it's 60 degrees outside with an east-southeast wind at 8 miles per hour. Feels like 60 degrees. That wind not really having any effect. Barometric pressure is down at 29.92 at this hour. Taking a look at the NewsLink radar, we have some precipitation moving up in the south. That's associated with a low pressure system down here that will be affecting our weather later on in the week. However, not tonight. Tonight we're expecting clear skies to turn cloudy as we go in the overnight. However, there is some rain on the way, a rather significant cool down, and the possibility of sunny weather for your weekend.
Thanks, Michael. Yesterday, Ball State students had the chance to play soccer for a good cause. A shoeless soccer tournament was thrown by the National Society of Leadership and Success and the Toms Club. It all went down on the Ball State Recreational Center turf field. All proceeds went to the Tom Shoe Foundation. Ethan Johnson, the event organizer, explained the motive behind the Barefoot Bash.
So the idea is that soccer is a big event all around the world, and a lot of people in developing countries play soccer without shoes, so we thought we should try to imitate that and raise some money for Toms. So teams register 4 to 6 players. It's $20 a team, and they get to come out here, have some fun, and help a good organization.
The winning team received some prizes from Tom's Shoes, including t-shirt and a book from Tom's founder, Blake McCroskey.
The American Cancer Society's Cancer Facts and Figures are now available for 2012. The number of new cancer cases this year is estimated to top 1.6 million. Ball State's Relay for Life event to raise money for cancer was this weekend. The event had a new addition, a Zumbathon. More than 100 people danced for 3 hours and raised more than $2,000. Zumba instructor Leanne Wilcox organized the event because her grandmother died of cancer.
So I wanted to do the Zumbathon as a way to honor her and raise money for cancer and really just make a difference in the world.
The whole Relay for Life event raised more than $6,000. For upcoming events, visit relayforlife.org. Ball State is currently in the middle of its run for Lend Me a Tenor, a play about William Shakespeare's Othello. Behind the scenes, however, the theater department's costume shop is already hard at work on the next production. Julia St. John is live outside the University Theater with more.
Thanks, guys. Well, even while doing some last-minute stitching for Lend Me a Tenor, which is currently being shown here at University Theater, BSU's costume shop is looking ahead to the rest of the year's productions.
For the last few months, the costume shop has been working on Lend Me a Tenor. Joseph Lynch designed all the costumes for the show.
A lot more goes into it than what people think. My favorite part is once it gets to the shop and actually building it and just seeing that process and actually watching how my renderings and how my designs are becoming a reality. And then, of course, the ultimate is, the finished product, is finally seeing it on stage and seeing everybody in the costumes and having that moment of, oh my God, I did it, type of thing.
Now that Lend Me a Tenor has started, the costume shop is still making a few last-minute adjustments. But they are mainly focused on the upcoming show, The Last Days of Judas Iscariot. The director of the costume shop, Melanie Mortimer, says that every show brings different challenges.
Even though every project is similar, we go through the same process for everything that we do as well. Every show is different because it's a new set of characters, it's a new storyline, it's a new set of problems that need to be solved, a new time period maybe that we're cutting things out for.
From the design process to the stage, Ball State's costume shop has their hands on 8 shows a year. As a mostly undergraduate facility, they not only produce shows, they teach students how costuming works.
Lend Me a Tenor will be playing at University Theater until April 7th. Judas Iscariot will open on April 12th in Strother Theater. Live in Muncie, Julia St. John, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks, Julia. If you want to see a show that the costume shop has worked on, just visit the University Theater box office across from Bracken Library. The 5th annual McKinley Mile was this past Saturday. Spectators lined up on McKinley Avenue and cheered on their favorite teams in the Benny Dash and the Cardinal Replay. Sigma Kappa Sorority won the dash, while Kirk's Bike Shop won the Cardinal Relay, with the category with a time of just over an hour, while the team's Asbury Goggles won the student category.
While officials in Russia are looking for answers after a deadly plane crash today,
workers in Europe are looking for answers to the highest unemployment in more than a decade.
Questions? We'll have more on these stories coming up.
Was that supposed to be you that read that? That McKinley Mile? Sorry if it was.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
At least 7 are confirmed dead after someone stormed into a small college in Northern California. A suspect is in custody, with the focus now on what led the shooter to go on the rampage. Mary Ellen Hopkins has the report.
Emergency crews tend to the victims as a normal day gives way to an unspeakable horror at Oikos University in Oakland, California. Police say a gunman burst into the single-story building and opened fire.
Happens really quick.
A woman in the area says she encountered a frantic woman who had seen the shooter.
And she says oh, please call 911, help me like that. We call again, so, please hurry up. And then we call 911 and then they come really quick.
Authorities say several shots were fired in the late morning attack. Police say a suspect was arrested at a nearby grocery store. A local reporter was on the scene and reports what he heard.
They did not know who the suspect was, other than he was a larger build, possibly wearing khaki and a hat.
A Honda was also towed away from the scene as part of the investigation. Now the task gets underway of trying to figure out why.
I know that officers are talking to witnesses, trying to gather as much information. Again, this is a very tense situation.
Some survivors say faith helped them get through a horrible experience.
I'm a Christian because I believe that God protects me, so I was okay.
According to its website, Oikos University offers degrees in theology, nursing, and Asian medicine. I'm Mary Ellen Hopkins reporting.
A plane carrying 43 people crashed soon after takeoff in Siberia today. The government says 31 are dead after the crash.
Right after takeoff, the air traffic control lost contact immediately with the plane. UT Air, the flight operator, says the plane was trying to make an emergency landing when it went down. The ministry says 12 survivors were taken to hospitals, while everyone else on board, including all 4 crew members, were killed. Experts from Britain, France, and Canada are helping with the investigation.
A new study reveals airlines are performing at their highest level in 22 years. That's according to the latest airline quality rating. Researchers at Purdue University and Wichita State University tracked the 15 largest U.S. carriers. Researchers cited improvements in baggage handling, fewer delays in overbooked flights, and fewer customer complaints. For the second consecutive year, AirTran, Hawaiian, and JetBlue were the 3 best-performing airlines.
The latest numbers show Europe has hit its highest unemployment rate in 14 years. The jobless rate increased to 10.8% in February, up from 10.7% the previous month. Spain and Greece have the highest at 24% and 21%, while Austria, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, and Germany have the lowest unemployment rates.
Now time for a look at tomorrow's headlines tonight from our partners at the Ball State Daily News. I'm Hunter Petroviak. Do you ride your bike to campus? Read about several bikes that were stolen out of the Kinghorn Hall bike room. The Daily News will have more details about the arrest report in the story so you can protect your bike. Want to use your meal plan in the village? A Ball State management group is working on revitalizing the village and wants to make the businesses more student-friendly. Read about it tomorrow. What's your religion? Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney was asked about his religion recently and refused to comment. The paper will have the story. All that and more coming up in tomorrow's Ball State Daily News on newsstands across campus or online 24 hours a day at bsudailynews.com.
Thanks for that, Hunter. And Nicole, we have Easter weekend coming up. I wonder what the weather's going to be looking like.
Well, hopefully it's good for all those little egg hunters out there. Let's throw it over to Michael, see what we can look forward to.
Well, Nicole, we said it once and we'll say it again. We have Easter coming up on Sunday this weekend. I wonder if the weather's going to hold up.
Well, hopefully it will. Those little egg hunters want some sunny weather. Michael, what can we look forward to?
Well, guys, it's kind of a mixed forecast right now. We might see a few rain showers out there to spoil the little ones' fun on Easter. However, we're not going to see any of that tonight. Across the nation right now, temperatures are fairly warm. It's at 83 in St. Louis, 79 in Memphis, 78 in Des Moines. A little bit closer to home, though, it has cooled off some here in Indiana. Lafayette sitting at 63, Terre Haute 63, Indianapolis at 64. Here in Muncie, we're at 55 degrees right now, cooled off just a little bit. East-southeast wind at 7, not affecting that temperature much at all, as it still feels like 55 degrees outside. Go ahead and take a look at the highs across the state today. South Bend made it up to 62, Lafayette 69, as well as Indianapolis. Bloomington just a nudge colder at 68, and Muncie, we made it up to 65 degrees for our high. As previously mentioned, 65 was our high today, 44 the low this morning, a little bit chilly. We're way above the averages, about 10 degrees above that average high of 55, not quite a record of 81 set back in 1963. Going to our satellite radar, you can see the precipitation starting to move this direction. It's associated with a low pressure system down to the south. It's going to hang out there for about another day or so before it starts to make its way toward our area. For tonight, what are we expecting? Well, we're going to start out clearer. It's going to become cloudy, though, with an east-southeast wind at 3 to 8, 49 degrees for the overnight temperature. Taking a look at NewsLink Futurecast, there's that low-pressure system way down here. It's going to kind of just hang out down there, just barely off the screen. This is about 3 p.m. Tuesday. You can see some of the clouds in the area as this low-pressure system does start to nudge closer. Cloudier for Tuesday night before some rain does start work in here. And we could see some thunderstorms and some rain showers going Tuesday night into Wednesday. Tomorrow, however, looking like a nice day. 11 a.m., partly cloudy conditions, 61 degrees. By 2 p.m., still partly cloudy, 73. And by 5 p.m., partly sunny conditions, temperatures warming up to 76. For your Tuesday high, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions, 76 degrees. Wednesday, cloudy. Again, we could see the chance of storms as we move Tuesday into Wednesday. And for Thursday, you get a small chance of some rain, 56 for the high. Friday and Saturday, sunny. For your Easter forecast, about a 30% chance of thunderstorms, but otherwise, mostly sunny Sunday.
Well, I hope those thunderstorms stay off for that Sunday.
Yeah, it's never good to have rain when you're hunting eggs.
It's not. It's not.
An Indiana basketball legend received his biggest honor today. Coming up in sports, find out which former Pacer will be joining an elite group. They told me at the monitor. Good evening and welcome into NewsLink Indiana Sports. I'm Pat Boylan. 8 seasons after a Pacer great Reggie Miller left, the Hall of Fame wants him in. Miller, who made a living breaking opponents' hearts with late three-pointers, headlines a 12-member class, including the NBA's winningest coach ever, Don Nelson. Cheryl Miller, Reggie's sister, is already a member, making them the first brother-sister combo in the Hall of Fame. Miller's 2,560 three-pointers are second most in NBA history, behind only Ray Allen, who passed him last season. Well, Ball State football players are enjoying a rare commodity these days. They're heading into spring knowing their coaches. BSU returned every position coach this season besides one, John Strollo. He left for Penn State, opening the hole for a new coach, a former Ball State football player, Nick Tabacca. NewsLink's Chris Rankel meets the coach.
From season to season, there are always people. This offseason, one of the biggest names to replace for Ball State was offensive line coach John Strollo. To find his replacement, Coach Lembo brought in former Cardinal Nick Tabacca. Tabacca spent last season as the offensive line coach at nearby Butler, but when the Cardinals came calling, he was happy to come back.
Oh, it's been awesome. As an alum, that's a special thing, I think, to come back to your alma mater. There's some familiar faces here with some guys I've played with, Joey Lynch on staff, some trainers and those things. A lot of new faces, too, but they've been great.
Tabacca takes over an offensive line with 4 senior starters. And although switching coaches is never easy, this transition wasn't difficult.
I think it's been a very smooth transition. Last summer he worked a lot with Coach Strollo, who left for Penn State. So, he knows the terminology. He changed a few words, but nothing big.
He's a BSU grad, a captain, offensive lineman. You really couldn't have picked a better replacement for Coach Strollo.
Tabacca played at Ball State from 2000 to 2004, serving as team captain his senior season. Being a former Cardinal has helped Tabacca connect with his players in a special way.
He is one of us, You don't really have the opportunity to say that with a lot of your coaches, but he's Ball State Cardinal, so he fits right in.
This season, the expectations are sky high for the Cardinals. But right now, Coach Tabaka is just happy to be back where it all started.
You know, when you come back to your place and the memories you have, it brings those back to you, and you know, that's a part of it. You know, and for my whole family, my wife's an alum as well, and so you know, Ball State was never far from our heart. You know, and obviously as a coach, you go different places and those things, but being back here has been great.
Well, 66 games have been played, and now we're whittled down to one tonight for the NCAA Basketball Championship. The 32-6 Kansas Jayhawks and the 37-2 Kentucky Wildcats will do battle tonight in New Orleans as both teams look to bring pride to programs already plenty rich in basketball tradition. You can catch the game right after tonight's newscast. Tip-off is set for 9:23 p.m. on CBS.
After the break, one famous actor will play a late Apple co-founder in a movie.
We'll have more after the break.
Welcome to NewsLink Entertainment. I'm Amanda Richardson. Tickets for the musical Young Frankenstein, or Frankenstein, are now on sale. The show is coming to Emmons Auditorium on April 20th at 7:30 p.m. And fans of the Mel Brooks movie of the same name won't be disappointed. Mel Brooks wrote the music and lyrics himself. Tickets range from $35 to $49, but Ball State students can get in free ahead of time with your ID. After that, tickets are $10 at the door. Adam Sandler swept an award ceremony last night, but he probably isn't too excited since it was a night honoring the best of the worst. Adam Sandler's film, Jack and Jill, swept the Razzies. Along with the movie's Worst Picture Award, Sandler was named Worst Actor and Actress, playing both Jack and Jill. It's the first time in the Razzies' 32-year history that one film was dishonored in every category. And he may have over 10 million Twitter followers, but is he Apple CEO material? Ashton Kutcher's rep has confirmed he will play Steve Jobs in an upcoming film. The indie pick titled Jobs is expected to begin production in May, while Kutcher is on a break from 2.5 Men. The film will highlight the Apple co-founder's rise from hippie to tech mogul. That's all your NewsLink Entertainment from home and at Hollywood. I'm Amanda Richardson.
Thanks for that, Amanda. We're going to take one last look at weather. Michael, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, we do have the possibility of seeing some storms Tuesday night into Wednesday, but after that, sunny conditions should return.
30 seconds.
Well, that's all we have for NewsLink Indiana tonight. Catch us again tomorrow night right here at 9 p.m.
Thank you. Have a good night.